Good morning, scholars. Today is Tuesday, April 28th, 2020, day 20 of Mr. Correa's Math Virtual Learning. Today, we're going to work on using models to compare fractions. Yesterday, we worked on comparing unit fractions, and we identified the relationship between the denominator and the size of the equal part. And we found that the greater the denominator, the size of the equal part. Let's see if we can use that knowledge for this example. Which fraction is less than 1/3 or 1/4? Before we can compare, we have to represent each fraction in the above fraction strips. So to represent 1/3, I'm going to shade in 1 equal part out of the 3. And to represent 1/4, I'm going to shade in 1 equal part out of the 4. So when we're comparing fractions, we focus on the size of the equal part that is named. And looking at both equal parts, we see that 1/3 is actually bigger in size than 1/4. So 1/4 is actually less than 1/3. For this next example, we have to determine which fraction is greater. We have 1/2 and 2/6. So we have a unit and a non-unit fraction. This is where we really have to focus in on the size of the equal parts. So for 1/2, we're going to shade in 1 equal part out of 2. And for 2/6, I'm going to shade in 2 equal parts out of the 6. And if you look at the size of the equal parts, we know that 1/2 is actually greater or bigger than the equal part in 2/6. So we can state 1/2 is greater than 2/6. Let's try another example. Which fraction is less than? We have 2/4 and 2/3. First, let's represent each fraction on the fraction strip. To represent 2/4, we need to shade in 2 equal parts out of the 4. And to represent 2/3, we need to shade in 2 equal parts out of the 3. And if you look at the size of both equal parts, we see that 2/3 is actually greater or bigger than 2/4. So we know 2/3 is actually greater and 2/4 is less than. Let's try one more example. Which fraction is greater? We have 4/6 and 3/4. I'm going to shade in 4 equal parts out of the 6 to represent 4/6. And I'm going to shade 3 equal parts out of the 4 to represent 3/4. Now let me ask you, which fraction is greater? Is it 4/6 or 3/4? Excellent job. It is 3/4. How do you know it's 3/4? You're correct, because the size of the equal parts in 3/4 are actually bigger than 4/6. This wraps up our lesson for today, scholars. You did an awesome job. I hope you have a good day, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye.